This is so exciting that you are going to be learning how to effectively present. Now remember, everyone has different strengths. And so you might be teaching a lot of classes in your business, or maybe you do better with people one-on-one, or you do better with plugging people, inviting and getting people to Zoom classes that other people are teaching. But even if that's the case, it's still helpful for you to learn some of these basic skills, because then as you bring on new people, you're clear on how to duplicate. You're clear on what to teach them and how to do it. And so that's why having this experience and being brave and going through this launch process will be really, really valuable. No matter what way in the long term you decide to do your business, this is something that everyone can duplicate. And so you need to do it so you can teach others how to do it. So one of the things that research shows is people remember the beginning and the end the best when they see something, right? And so keep that in mind as you are preparing for doing your presentation. And now remember, you're going to have your active upline helping you teach the first several classes. So you're not going to be on your own. They're going to be bringing their strengths and their experience, and you're going to be learning from them. So don't feel pressure, don't feel stressed, but this is a great time to be learning and practicing and getting ready so that by the time you've done a few classes with them, you're more confident and you can teach yourself eventually. So with the beginning and the end, at the beginning, it's really great to, just as people are arriving, do some things to be connecting with people. I love to have the hand scrub is so delightful, and you can have that by the kitchen sink and say, hey, come on in while everybody's gathering. I want you to come experience this and let them try that. They could use the Citrus Bloom hand soap to wash, and then one of the lotions. We have a lot of different options for lotions after, or even just doing the hand scrub. It's really inexpensive. You can put that on your next order, and it's just an easy, fun way to start to connect and break the ice as people are gathering and arriving. When you start the class, of course, welcome everyone, and hopefully your first ones are going to be with people that you know, right? So it makes it a lot easier. But be vulnerable. Feel free to say, you guys, I'm so nervous. It's okay to say that. That breaks the ice because they're probably going to feel it, And so just say thank you for giving me grace and being here to support me. And I would be so grateful for your feedback as we're doing this class. And then I want you to think about your story. What brought you to doTERRA? Why are you here? If you do the Target Your Message worksheet in the Business Building Guide, it will really help you kind of dial in about what are you passionate about? Why are you doing what you're doing? Who are the people you really feel called to serve? And I invite you to incorporate that into your story. People will remember the story. Facts tell and stories sell. So maybe you had a great experience with something, or maybe it was the business that drew you into doTERRA. And I invite you to think about what is the mission that you are on, right? Not as much of what is it that you're doing, but what is it that's like a global cause that you feel called to? Like, for example, a part of my story is I lost a brother to addiction. That a lot of things started in his youth with medications that he was on. And my mom didn't know that there was any other solution out there. She didn't know that there was a better way. And I'm so passionate about teaching people and helping people know there is another way. There is an alternative to pharmaceuticals. We're so grateful for when we absolutely need them, but there are so many things that we have amazing solutions for. So you can hear how impactful that is, right? And that's something that it's this movement of people want to be a part of that, right? We need to help people know that there are alternatives to dangerous pharmaceuticals, right? That there's a better way. Or maybe it's something with young moms and helping them be empowered with things at their fingertips that can help their families to have solutions, or whatever it is that you feel called about. Think about how you can share that in a story, a brief story, right, in the beginning of the class. Also, you're going to find out what people's health needs are. So after you've shared your story, introduce yourself briefly, you're going to want to pass around what's called the custom enrollment form. If you're doing this on Zoom, and then you'll have a digital survey that they can do at the end. But in fact, and you'll learn about when we do digital classes or online classes, you'll learn more about ways to prepare for that later. But when you're doing the in-person class, you're going to pass around the custom enrollment form, and you should have already printed that off in your preparation on one of the first couple days. But you're going to pass those around, and you're going to say, this class is all about you. It's really important that you get answers to the things that you are dealing with and go home empowered with solutions that are going to make a big impact on your family. I would recommend like saying something right around that line, right? Of just, it's important to me that you are empowered with solutions for your family, and you go home ready and prepared to have solutions at your fingertips, right? So I'm conveying more than just my intention, but I'm also like being super clear that like, I want them to go home and have this make a difference, right? So that's a great thing to say at the beginning. And so then you're going to say, and this is all in the script, but I just want to emphasize a couple different things. So if you just tell people, write down your health concerns, they won't have much to write down a lot of times. So it's important to give them ideas. I love to share it like I kind of am vulnerable and will say, you know what, before we learned about oils, and I actually add to part of my story, I had a friend that didn't give up on me and kept inviting me. After about 6 times, I finally went to the class, and I'm forever grateful that she did not give up, because it has completely changed our family and made all the difference to have the healing solutions that we have had in our home because of these oils and supplements from doTERRA. So something like that, right? But I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I wasn't interested for a long time because I didn't know there were solutions for acne, for my daughter's trouble sleeping, her and my husband's digestive issues, my other daughter's struggle with her mood and anxiety, and my other daughter's struggle with sleep and just allergies. There were so many things that we were dealing with that I just had no idea there was a solution for. So can you see how sharing it that way? Now, if your family didn't have any of those things, that's okay. You can just share it like, I want you to think about it, everything everyone in your household is dealing with. So on custom enrollment form, it says who in each box, right? So what you're going to do is write down you, and if you're married, your spouse, any pets, kids, anybody in your household. And then you're going to have them, after you've given them some ideas of things to write down, and you'll have the image in your flip chart or on the slideshow that you'll do on a TV, whichever you choose. You can do a flip book. You just want to do it in a binder where it's a lot easier if the binding is actually in the binding part of I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, do you know what I mean? Like in the middle of the folder instead of like on the side of the folder. Anyway, so, but you'll have that slide that will show different categories, but you're going to want to say some ideas to get them thinking and to get them, and if you share things that your family has dealt with, it really just helps people open up. And then if it's a bigger group, you don't really have time to go around and have everybody share, but if it's a smaller group, you can say, if you want to share 1 or 2 things from your list, just so I can make sure I mention something like that, let's do that. And people are always, happy to share things that are on their list. And then just take note so that you make sure that as you go throughout the class, you can address and specifically mention some of those things. So that's the beginning. And then later we'll talk about the ending and the close and how to make that impactful. But so that's your assignment, is to do that, target your message, and think about how you're going to do your opening. Feel free to copy what I said, right? Watch this video again, listen to it a few times, and just state your intention for the class after you have shared your story of why you're there and why you're doing what you're doing. So happy teaching. And again, for a lot of people, I know it makes them so nervous to stand up in front of people, and just realize the more that you do it and the more that you practice, the easier it will get. And I can't tell you how many leaders I have worked with who hated getting up in front of people when we first started working together. And now they're a pro. They don't even hardly think about it. They do an amazing job. So be patient. Realize this is part of the growing and learning process.